Hi there youth, how's everyone doing this morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're checking into? Well, I just want to say a great, big hello once again to all of you and welcome to Ignite Youth once again. Well, I just want to highlight a few stuff which is happening in and around our church this season of Lent. And even today we have one of our own, Rachel Oi, who is getting baptized in our church. So if you are with her or you know her, do give a shout out to her and congratulate her. And we have some of our youths as well who are getting baptized and confirmed. So congratulations to all of you, and we hope that you will have an amazing time being with us in KL Wesley. So with that in mind, just a reminder, next week we are off from Ignite Youth because next week is Easter Sunday. Yes, Easter Sunday is next week, and that means it is an opportunity to invite your friends to church. How? Well, as all of you know, we have a website at klwesley.org, and in that website there is a link called Easter 2021. So click on that and there are invitation images, there are phone wallpapers. Go ahead and advertise about Jesus wherever you are. Invite them to church. It is as easy as sharing the YouTube channel link. So go ahead and do that. So with that in mind, have a great life group. We won't be meeting next week, and we'll meet again right after Easter. In all things, God bless, and we'll see you soon.
I was just reading a book. I was reading Radical by David Platt, and he gave some crazy stat that there's over 1 billion people that are classified as unreached, or they've never heard of Jesus, and that really put a burden on my heart, and it made me really want to do something. So I just came up with this small idea, like I'll just design a t-shirt and I'll sell it to people, raise money to help some people hear about Jesus. I went to a youth pastor that I knew, and I gave him this idea. Basically, he shared a vision with us about Sudan and how if we were to build a Bible school over there, then kids would come and they would hear about Jesus, they'd get an education, they would get cared for, and it would just be a really good thing. Me and my friend we designed a t-shirt in math class, and so I gave up all my birthday money, all my Christmas money, and we bought 50 t-shirts that we had designed. The thought kind of occurred to me, how goofy would I look if I walked around my school with a really old suitcase full of t-shirts? These kids are going to ask me what I'm doing, they're going to make fun of me. And at that moment, God was just kind of like, use this suitcase to be able to witness to someone, use this suitcase to kind of test your faith. And so as I was walking down the halls, a lot of kids just kind of looked at me and laughed. I could see them laughing, and this kid comes up to me and says, "Hey, what are you selling these t-shirts for?" And I was able to give him the whole vision for Sudan and just tell him, this is what God, sent his son for, and this is what Jesus died for, is for us to be able to love him and to make disciples. The goal we have, to raise all the money, is $30,000, and the t-shirts, they were doing a great job selling, but selling them for $13 a piece, we figured that wasn't going to raise the whole $30,000, so we needed to find a way to raise more money than that. And so we decided to come with this idea that we would just ride bikes, raise awareness, and get people to pledge a certain amount of money per mile. We went to local businesses around here, and we also, at the church, we had little pledge forms, and people would pledge 50 cents per every mile we rode, or $1 for every mile we rode. We rode from North Texas all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. It was a 400-mile long bike ride. It took us 5 days, and we stayed in churches along the way, and we ended up raising around $4,000 with that. My life before all this, I was real isolated. I would hang out with my friends who were good Christians, but I wouldn't reach out to anyone, and all my money and most of my time it went to eating and sleeping or playing my PlayStation or just hanging out with my friends and not really doing anything that was like living out our faith. We would talk about God all the time, but when it came down to actually doing something for God, we would struggle with that and we wouldn't do anything. The way all of our friends just hopped on this thing and just wanted to help out, seeing the passion and the growth that we've all had through Hope for Sudan has been amazing.
Our youth pastor challenged us with Matthew 25, where it talks about the verse that if you visit people in prison or give to those who don't have clothes and feed those who are hungry, you're not only serving them, but you're serving Christ. I kind of realized that I hadn't really been doing that very well. Our youth pastor gave each of the groups $100, and he told us to use it for good.
He could tell I was really stressed. And he's like, let's look at the criteria. He pointed me in the direction of the pregnancy care center.
We started thinking, what should we do with this? And one of my friends actually brought a World Vision magazine, and we were looking through it, and there was stuff like, you could buy chickens for a village, buy a cow for a village so they could get milk. And then you go towards the back, and there's the bigger projects, and there's one where you could buy a well for a village. You could help fund the money to drill a well in a foreign country. Yeah, we're teenagers, how are we gonna get $2,600? What are we gonna do?
I pulled up to the pregnancy care center, and they asked why I had so much stuff, and I said, I'm part of a church, and my youth pastor challenged us to help people in need, ask them what they needed most, and they said diapers and wet wipes. We go through them a lot. So I went to Walmart and bought a whole bunch of diapers and wet wipes.
A couple from our church, they were talking about how they go up to the detention center and they just kind of speak into the girls' lives. So one of the girls called from our group. She asked if we could give the prison some Bibles and asked if they had any other needs. And she said that they did, like socks and toothpaste and toothbrushes and deodorant. We realized that if we're gonna get all this other stuff, we're not gonna have enough money, but we really, really wanted to do this. For my birthday party, instead of asking for presents, I asked for people to donate. So with that, we bought the socks. One of the girls from our group, Megan, she called a toothbrush company and they also donated 80 toothbrushes. We only had $100 at first, but we ended up raising more money so we could give a care package to all the people in prison.
We went around town looking for sponsors and all their money was already given out because it was the end of the year. So that was a setback. And we had a car wash. We only raised around like $100 or $200, which was a start. But then we thought of a bake sale. People were paying $40 for like a cookie that probably didn't even taste that good. And I get this random call from Chance, and he's like, hey, this guy heard about your well fund. He's donating $1,000. That's like doubling what we had. We could finally drill the well in Africa.
God changed me definitely through this project. He gave me more of a humble heart. I just felt this completeness.
I never necessarily had a reason to go that far out of my way to help somebody.
I wanted God to get the glory and not myself. And so still now I look for chances to serve.
I got to see, what God can do through average kids like me.